Denver activists out in force. It was all part of Climate Action Week, and activists across the country holding events demanding government to take immediate action. And many of those protests were much more peaceful, including the one in Denver, which included people of all ages. Hundreds of people gathered at Union Station and walked to the Capitol to call attention to climate change.
I think it's important that I'm here because even though it may not do anything, it'll show more people that kids and grown-ups care and that everybody who wants to can take action and save our world.
And this march was one of many taking place all over the world. In New York City, look at that. Demonstrators stretched as far as the eye could see. And Amelia, Gorman, and Sebastian organized a walkout at the Denver School of the Arts as part of the global climate strike and are joining us now. And I find it fascinating that many of the activists are young people. Is this a young people's issue right now? Is that what's happening?
Entirely. I think this is an issue that is in the hands of our generation that has been handed down from the last.
Yeah, we are the generation who's going to have to deal with years of irresponsible climate policy by politicians who are outdated and are ignoring common sense, and we are the ones who are going to inherit.
And why is it that you think young people all around the world are taking on this issue? I mean, why this issue?
I think it has to do with the universality of the issue. I mean, it's an issue that affects all of us. The other issues that we're commonly worried about, school safety, other environmental justice issues, don't matter much if we can't solve the heart of the issue, which is the planet we all live on.
Yeah, and we also have a lot of thanks to give to activists in Congress and activists such as Greta Thunberg, who have really set this into motion and allowed smaller groups of people to participate.
And Greta gave a very passionate speech the other day. In fact, we have a clip, so let's listen in for a moment.
People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?
I think that was pretty chilling to hear those words from her.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just really shows how teenagers and people of our generation are starting to hold power to account and showing these politicians and world leaders that when we turn 18, we will really be able to hold them accountable by voting them out of office.
And do you think that adults are listening to you?
I think adults are listening. I think it's tough because sometimes when you have someone like Greta Thunberg talk, we have an international leader then speaking directly out against her in a manner that's quite frankly patronizing and insulting.
So what do you think it will take to affect change? I mean, you mentioned turning 18 and being able to vote.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that what you think will be the turning point?
Well, that's huge, is people our age registering to vote and voting once they turn 18, and also organizing these marches and these letter writing campaigns to show those in power that we care deeply about this issue, and then also taking grassroots action such as Sustainability Club, which Sebastian is the president of.
What does that mean?
So the Sustainability Club is a club that's run by members around the Denver youth community that serves to provide resources to school clubs across the state to run clubs that serve to pioneer sustainability initiatives throughout all of these Colorado schools. And some of the things that we're working on right now, we're participating in a competition called the Renew Our Schools competition, which will serve to, we all collect points, and all these points are tallied, and the winning school gets $2,500 for sustainability improvements on the school building.
So these, and you mentioned that you were doing a letter writing campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a one-time thing? I mean, how do you keep this up, and what are you doing exactly?
Well, I think it's encouraging action through different school-run clubs like Student Council, like Sustainability Club, and also social media has been a huge thing. So if there's a politician that does something for the climate that's in reverse of the direction we should be going in, posting about it and talking to your peers about it and encouraging them to write letters and call their senators and representatives and really take accountability for our future.
Do you find that you're getting support from school, from your parents in these efforts?
I think it's insufficient, and I think it should be far more than what we were given right now. On the day of the climate strike, we were not given excused absences for the day that we strike. And that was really important to us because we were sacrificing our education, which is something we value very near and dear. However, we value the climate more that day.
Yeah, and like he was saying, missing out on school and missing out on these educational opportunities is not something we should ever have to do just because adults, whether they're in Congress or whether they're our parents or in our communities, just because they are not taking adequate action.
And why do you think that adults are not taking adequate action? What's your opinion on that?
I think it's less tangible for them. I mean, a lot of these actions that they see younger people taking nowadays, going vegan, reducing their electricity usage, carpooling, and other personal actions they can take, they perceive as really small, when in reality these are very tangible and very easy for other people to pick up on and be inspired by. That's so much of the point that people are missing with this, is personal actions like doing those things can inspire others to have their own sense of environmental awareness and to research more.
Absolutely. And I think, unfortunately, money is a huge influencer and reason people start to take action, and the adults right now aren't seeing the monetary impact of the climate change issue and the fact that we are going to have to spend billions in taxpayers' money when we are adults to deal with increased heat deaths and increased natural disasters and crumbling infrastructure that's resulting from the climate.
Well, thank you both for being here and expressing your opinions with us. It's always important to hear what younger people have to say about what's happening in the world. So Amelia Gorman and Sebastian Andrews, thank you both for being here.
You as well.
Thank you.
Anytime you have a question or a segment idea, you can tweet us at Denver 7 Politics. And don't forget, you can watch today's segments anytime at thedenverchannel.com/Politics Unplugged. Thanks for spending part of your weekend with us. We'll see you back here next Sunday for another edition of Politics Unplugged.